Okay, so welcome back. For this lesson, we're going to look at two-point perspective drawing. Hopefully you've already completed Engage 6 on the other videos available. So for this particular task, you're going to need a pen, a pencil, a ruler, a rubber, and if you have got one, a set square. Hopefully it looks slightly different to this one, but anything with a straight edge should work. So what we're going to be looking at is two-point perspective drawing. And what you've effectively got with two-point perspective drawing is two vanishing points, one at either side. On the previous demo video, we looked at one-point perspective drawing where everything disappeared off to one vanishing point. This time, the vertical lines will remain at 90 degrees, but the X and Y axis, so X and Z axis, will disappear off diagonally to the vanishing point. So what you should have on your sheet in front of you is a series of lines. Now all you need to do for a start is using a ruler to draw off from these lines off to the vanishing point, running in two directions, and this will start to build up the basic box. So this gives us the front edge. Now from there, the next thing we're going to do is pop in our vertical lines, and this is where using a set square comes in, because you line it up to the horizon, and then you can just draw a line down and you can pick how wide these boxes are going to be. Again, I'll just bring it over there, put another vertical line in, so you're only running between the two guidelines you've put on. When you're drawing these lines and you want to keep them quite faint, I'm going to flip back to using a ruler. Then from there, run from the top of the line across to the vanishing point, and then run the opposite direction from the other corner of the box, and that will give us a basic cube. From there we can actually then remove the guidelines at this stage, just leaving the box. If you do it in this order, it will just make things a little bit simpler for you, because there is a chance you will have lines running through the shapes on this. So once we've removed those lines, from there we've got our basic box. Now we've got options of lines above and below the line. I'm going to show you 3 of the boxes on the left hand side. So if the box is above the line, again it's identical what we're doing. We're just running lines down to the vanishing point, but obviously this is going to mean that the box is above. So rather than drawing on the top as you've just seen me do on the lower box, we're actually going to draw the base on it. Now if you have only got a ruler, a simple way of doing it is to just ensure that you're running parallel to the vertical line. So again, if I go the other way, just make sure I'm parallel. In fact, I could even just use the width of the ruler on this one, make a slightly bigger box. From there, find the bottom of the box, draw across diagonally, and again find the bottom of the box, line it with the vanishing point, draw in the base. And what you'll find is once you get used to this, you don't need to go all the way across. You only need to go part way, because once you've actually formed the box shape, it works. And the last one we're going to look at is just this one in the middle, and it differs slightly because you're only going to see 2 surfaces. Again, I could run all the way across to the side. I'm not going to on this one, just because I'm going to stop it a little bit off the side there. So again, run it to the other side, go all the way across on this one pretty much, and then again a vertical line between. So on this bottom box below the horizon line, you'll see the 2 sides on the top. On this box where you're actually running over the horizon, you're only going to see 2 sides, and then if it's floating above the horizon line, you'll see 2 sides and a base. So moving on, the next thing we're going to do is fine line the boxes. So I'll just swap sheets over to one I've pre-started. So Again, you've seen this technique before, we've done it on previous videos, thick and thin. So the outside of boxes would be double thickness lines. If a spider was on a surface that you could see and he walked around to a surface where you couldn't see him, he would disappear and therefore it would be double thickness. If the spider, however, was on the top and walked around to the front surface, you would still see him, so you would just go over that line once. I've obviously done some of the boxes already just to speed things up. What I'm going to do is I'll very quickly take you through the technique again, just on this top box up here. So again, flip your ruler over so the numbers are facing down. Double thickness the lines around the outside edge. The underneath at the back will be double thickness. Just working around the edge of it. Now on this particular drawing I haven't rubbed out the pencil lines previously. I'll remove them in a second. And what I'm also going to show you how to do is a slightly more complex technique. For those of you that are feeling like you've got this already, it's fairly straightforward. So we've got all those boxes double thickness. If we wanted to add a bit more shape to these, if we wanted to make some of them hollow, a simple way to do it, flip back to your pencil, and I'll have a look at doing it with a couple of these shapes here and here. So start off by popping in a vertical line, just running parallel to that front edge there. I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom or to the top because it would effectively slice through the shape. From there, I can again run over to the vanishing point with a line. I don't need to even go beyond the box on this particular shape because we know it's not going to be able to go out of the box. So I'd run over to the side and then I would match up a similar distance to what I've got here from the other side and just draw a line in vertically. So that gives us the outline of it. I would then have a line of sight from this inside edge up to the vanishing point. So I draw a line up there and that starts to build us up a hollow box. From there, fine line the whole shape and then decide which edges will be double thickness. On this particular shape, it will be double thickness on this inside edge here, and it will be double thickness at the top there. And again, the same could be done on this shape up here. It'll be a little bit more exaggerated because the closer you are to the vanishing point, the more it does exaggerate the angle on some of these. So again, go towards the vanishing point, go towards the vanishing point from the top, then we put in our vertical line, and on this one the vanishing point will be across there to there. So we'll draw in the inside edge, and again we could fine line that. So moving on to the last little bit we're going to do, which is rendering the shapes. So obviously I've pre-rendered a couple of these shapes. I've decided on this one to put my light source up in the top right corner, and in which case you then just have to decide which side is going to be closest to the sun, to be the lightest, and which will be the furthest away for darkest. On this shape up here, I've gone for the closest one to the sun, being this right hand side. Underneath will be logically the darker side, and then that would leave the left hand side medium. On the middle shape, again, I've gone for the lightest side on the right hand side, and then I've gone for a medium shade on the left. This cube down here, when we're dropping below the horizon line, I've actually moved it because I've decided that the closest surface to the sun will be the top edge, so the tops become light, the right hand side is then medium, and the furthest side away, this front edge, will be the darkest one. And again, I've applied it to these boxes down here. You'll see I've put a little bit more detail into some of these, and we'll just have a look at the rendering on this front box here and the top box. So again, light source coming down here in the top edge, So that's going to be as light as we can possibly do. Again, inside the box, that's the top surface, so that logically will be light. Medium surface on the front edge. And then we're going to go for a dark surface on the left hand edge. So left hand side, as dark as possible. Just darken that up a little bit just to get the difference. Colours. Now you can do this with pencil crayon if you want to, or with a normal pencil. It's absolutely fine depending on whether you have got pencil crayons at home. Again, if you just want to use a normal pencil, that works just as well. Again, we'll just go as light as we could on this front edge. Rush this a little bit just to get it done, because I'm sure you all get the idea of what we're doing here now anyway. So again, right hand side nearest sun, light would also hit this because it's on the same angle. It's a hollow shape. I'm going to go for the darkest side on the bottom, so we'll go as dark as possible down here. And underneath there, again, it's a bottom surface, so that will be as dark as possible. And then again, we're going to look for another medium shade, somewhere in between on the left hand side. And that should give you 6 floating boxes. A nice neat two-point perspective drawing. Thank you for watching.